Today we're gonna show you some easy freestyle tips that can improve your freestyle instantly. And we're gonna do it with my non-swimmer wife and show you in real time how we drop seconds off of her freestyle.
To speed up her progress, we used some AI smart goggles from Holosport, where I was able to download coached cues into the MP3 player, as well as track her real-time data and pace while she was swimming.
Let's dive in. We're at the pool here with my wife, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna time her in 100. We're gonna work on the exact issues that need to be fixed specifically to her, and I bet a lot of you have the same issues. And then we're gonna time her again and see if we can get some immediate free speed. And to help us along the way, we're gonna use some smart goggles from Holo Swim, which she already has in her ear, and she's gonna have my cues in each of her issues to help her along the way. And I found that this really boosts performance with people when they can actually hear what they need to do in the water while they're swimming. All right, let's get a little warm up in, and then we'll time that 100, okay? And she's got music in her ears right now, which is always more pleasant. All right, go ahead. It's all right, cold is good. All right guys, I already saw in the warm-up some issues that need fixing, but we're gonna go ahead and time her before we give any cues. So let's do this, 100 freestyle for time. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
She can hear the music perfectly clear because it is downloaded into the MP3 player. Unlike Bluetooth devices where the music fades in and out, that's not the case with these goggles, as well as my coached cues that were previously recorded into the MP3 player as well.
Actually, I'm pretty impressed. That was a 144. Now, for those of you that don't know, my wife is 7 weeks postpartum. We had a baby 7 weeks ago, our third baby, and she just did a 144. So I'm actually impressed with that. And guys, if you wanna know your true swim potential in this moment, I want you to take my quiz and we'll give you a score to let you know. Look in the comments below, click the link and find out. All right, I wanna see in the comments some of the issues that you saw with Petra, but one of the biggest ones that we can see right away is that she snakes through the pool, all right? And that's because of her rotation. It's a little bit over-rotated. And what we can do to get her to understand it on land is to find that perfect rotation. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at me with your toes pointed towards me, stick your arm out like this, okay? And then rotate. Exactly. See, this reach right here is maximum extension, but it's perfect rotation because when your feet are locked in on land, they can't over-rotate. When she was swimming, she was turning those hips too far. And in the water, I want you to be locked in. And you'll see that with these Holo Swim goggles, the cue is lock your hips, because guys, she's my wife, I know how she swims. So that's why I pre-prepared these cues for her, all right? So you're gonna hear that. All you have to do is press play right here, and you're gonna hear that. And then when we get to the next cue, you'll press forward. All right, before we do any drill, I just want her to practice that cue that she hears in her ear to have her hips locked in. So I want her to swim normal, and she's gonna imagine that her hips are not moving. And they will move slightly, but not too much with that cue in her ear. So let's just swim at 25 normal, okay? Let's go. Already, immediately, I see less of an over-rotation. I can see that she's taking those cues to heart. All right, that's exactly what we want. But one of the major issues that is still stopping her is sinking legs, and we're gonna fix that with the rotation at the same time. All right, that was much better. That was much better. Did it help to have that in your ears? Yes. Yeah, it helps when you just know that you shouldn't over-rotate. Okay, the way we're gonna fix those sinking legs and the over-rotation is we're gonna do what's called the Superman drill. And I do this in my videos a lot. We gotta get those legs to float. And what I want her to do on the wall is to extend her body as much as possible, because in freestyle, if you want to be maximum buoyant, you have to operate from a position of extension at all times. So we're going to get her to stretch out on the wall. She'll push away from the wall, and then she's gonna kick herself back. Okay, let's give that a try. Not bad, not bad. Try to push away further this time. Push away further. Now you see when she pushes away, her legs sink initially, but then when she stretches out, they pop right to the top. Excellent, excellent. And what I really liked about that is that her shoulder blades were within her body, and that's because she actually has pretty good swim mobility in her shoulders. A lot of you who swim, your legs go down because you're stiff and rigid in your shoulders. You've got to have those blades in, and to achieve that, you got to be mobile. So we're gonna use our smart goggles again. And by the way, these smart goggles can count your laps, and they give you real-time data. So while you're swimming, you're never gonna lose count. So what I wanna do now is we're gonna kick halfway down in that same position and think about your legs being buoyant, okay? And then when you get halfway, I want you to switch into normal freestyle. All right, let's go. See, can you see that our hips are much more at the surface? This is much more efficient when you swim. And pretty soon she should break into full freestyle. There we go. Good, nice, nice. All right, so what I'm gonna get her to do now is I want you to press forward on your smart goggles, click it, because you'll have a cue for the next drill that we're gonna do. And what I've been saying in her goggles this time is that I want her to stay long and strong. We're gonna take this kickboard, we're gonna keep that lined up body stretched out, but we're gonna go single arm, and this kickboard is a home base. So while you're swimming, you're gonna be hearing long and strong, and I want you to keep that same body position. We'll go right arm all the way down, okay? All right, let's go. Now we can see an issue when we isolate the arm like that is that she's using a lot of the forearm only. And a lot of people do this. We want to bring in the power muscles of the body, and there's something that we can do to fix that. Okay, good, good, good. What you did right there, your body was nice and buoyant, but as I was telling our viewers just now, you were using mostly just your forearm instead of using all the muscles in your body. So what we want to do is before we do that, we need to do the other arm because we got to be balanced. So we'll go back with the other arm, but we're going to learn how to bring in the whole body after this. What you need to realize is when you catch and pull to pull more water, when that arm comes in, it needs to first drop a little bit. And then we rotate that shoulder inwards to get that high elbow. And when you do that, you bring in the lats and the chest, and then we can get more power. So I don't want you to pull immediately when your hand comes in. I want you to let that arm drop a little bit, then rotate the shoulder inwards and pull. Before we do a drill to fix that, we're gonna just swim regular, and I want her to think about it. And I've put that in her smart goggles to let the arm drop, rotate, pull. And that's what goes over and over on the cues in her head. Okay, so press play on the goggles. Okay, swim 25 normal now. Okay, ready? Go. Okay, I'm liking this. We're grabbing a little bit more water, but we need to do that drill for her to understand it better. Okay, not bad, not bad. How is it to have my voice in your ears while you're swimming?
Well, it's like I never have a piece from you.
What we're gonna do now so that we can actually ingrain that high elbow catch into her stroke is we're gonna do something called the human drill or dog paddle drill. And this is also one of my most favorite drills. She's gonna keep that body fully extended. She's gonna stretch out, but she's not gonna bring her arms over the top. She's gonna keep them in the water. And for some reason, when you keep those arms in the water, you can just feel it better and catch the water. So you're gonna end up doing this through the water, rotating those hips, keeping them locked in. But I want you to do 25 dog paddle drill, okay? Let's go. That's it. Guys, and notice that even when she's doing this, she's focused on trying to be extended, and that's why her hips are staying relatively high. One thing that you notice that there's still a little bit of snaking going on It's because her stroke is not front quadrant, and that's the last thing we're gonna fix, because these are the easy fixes we can do immediately. Good, good, much better.
Can you feel more water when you were pulling like that?
Yes, much more. And it was a little bit easier than to lock my hips when I was doing this drill.
Lock the hips, yes, that's exactly what we want. Locking the hips, that was a cue that she heard at the beginning, so she's probably hearing that in her mind over and over again. So the last drill, because we can't fix everything immediately, but we can get free speed instantly. And the last drill to get that free speed is to line her stroke up and get it front quadrant. And how do we do that? We do that with the catch-up stroke. And I wanna do it with the board first, because what she's doing is she's looking back here, and then this arm starts falling down, and then that's causing the wiggle too. We've gotta line it up with the catch-up stroke. So I want you to take the kickboard, and I want you to do this. I want you to pull, touch, pull, touch, okay? And we'll do a 25 of that, all right? Here she goes. This is one of the most simplest drills and best drills to get you lined up in front quadrant. Front quadrant means that you're swimming like this, okay? The worst thing you can do is pull and stop. Great job, great job.
I was feeling now more that part of my arms that you mentioned.
Yeah, and can you feel that your stroke is a little bit straighter? Because before we were doing that, you were moving around like this. Now we're just trying to line you up, and I want to keep that mindset as we're going forward again. So again, click the goggles, and it's going to go back to the beginning where it was locked in hips, okay? Because now I want you to swim normal with that mindset of keeping it front quadrant, like that drill that we just did, but you're going to do it without the board, okay? So catch up drill without the board. Ready? Go. All right. Let's see how she looks. Oh, beautiful. That is much better. Notice that when she breathes, she's not breathing behind herself like she did before. This is such a great drill to keep you lined up, and it's gonna give her some free speed, I bet, when we time her again. Excellent. I really like that. You were pulling much more water. It probably felt a little bit harder because to keep that arm up there requires a little bit more balance, but that's okay, all right? So what we're gonna do now, every time we do a drill, I like to swim regular off of it so that you can feel the drill in your normal stroke, all right? So swim easy now and think about everything that we were talking about. And you can get off of my cues and now you can just play the music. If you wanna play music, those goggles are awesome for music, and it makes this session go by much faster. So go ahead and play your music and let's swim normal. Ready? Go. One cool thing about these goggles is that devices that play music in the water, they go in and out of sound, because when you breathe, that messes up the sound. But because this is an actual MP3 player, the sound is constant all the way through. How did it feel?
Much looser.
Much looser?
Yeah.
All right. That's what we want. We want swimming to feel easy and relaxed. That's the key in swimming. The more stiff and rigid you are, the more tiring it's gonna be. So we've implemented 3 drills, and now those 3 drills we wanna put into action and see if we can get it to be a faster 100 freestyle. We've literally been working for like 15 minutes. So let's ask her if she's ready. Are you ready to time the 100 again? All right, the moment of truth, guys. We're gonna see if those 3 cues helped her swim faster. She did a 144 before. Let's see what we do now. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, guys, what's amazing to me is that immediately I can see more water being grabbed. The stroke is more lined up. It's not all over the place. Of course, it's not perfect yet. You know, it's not gonna happen in 15 minutes, but these cues can make a difference. I hope it makes a difference in time. At least I know it will. We're gonna keep this recording all the way through so you guys don't think we're cheating. I'm gonna film the whole 100. That's it, let's go. Okay guys, she flipped in 45 seconds. Not too bad being 7 weeks postpartum. Let's go. Now you can see that when she's fatigued, some of the old habits are coming back. 45 seconds for the first 50 means that she was swimming 1:30 pace, which that is fast. But let's see if she can hold it together here at the end.
With the 4-in-1 design of the goggles, there's goggles, earplugs, music player, swim tracker. You don't need to bring multiple devices all in one place. Full session sync to the Holosport app afterwards.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Yes, yes, 136, 136, yeah. Guys, some of you might know that I've done this over a year ago with Petra, and we were trying to build up from there, but we had that baby. So it's kind of like we had to start from scratch again. And that's how I knew the kind of pre-recorded things I needed to put in her ear with these smart goggles. But 136, 7 weeks postpartum, I think we're off to a great start. I'm so pleased with that. Great work. Great work.
Guys, back at home after the swim, the first thing I wanted to talk about were the smart goggles. What were your experience with them?
They didn't leak, which is surprising. My new goggles always leak, so that was great. And I love the headphones, the earbuds.
They stayed in your ear,
right?
right?
They stayed in my ear, exactly. And I heard everything perfectly.
Guys, the cues that I put in her ear, I truly believe that they can help you when you can actually in real time hear your coach making adjustments to your stroke. You can see it. When I was on deck and I saw her, she was doing exactly what I was telling her to do. And that's not always the case when you're just coaching in the classic way. So I'm super pleased about that. And what do you think about those live cues in the goggles where it's telling you how far you swam?
It's very helpful. It's like to have a coach all the time with you. So if you have a coach like on the another side of the world, it's like the same thing.
So cool. The data is all there. You can get it in the app. These goggles, I highly recommend them, and you can find them in the link in the description. But how about that 136 at the end? You look great on that first 50.
I was nicely surprised, to be honest. I didn't know I'm swimming that fast for me. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah, guys, just like I said in the video, when that first 50, that technique was on a different level. But when fatigue set in, that happens to everybody. The stroke will fall apart. That's why swim fitness with technique is crucial to go hand in hand. You can't master perfect technique without swim fitness. They go together. Now, if you're a swimmer that is struggling and you're on a lower level than Petra and you just can't get through 50 meters without getting tired, click my freestyle click moment. You can find that in the link in the description. In that, I'm talking exactly how to get you to swimming easy immediately. So you can check that out. And if you want to see how to glide better in your stroke and how to just get more distance per stroke, you can check out this video. And until next time, take care.